What percentage of our population is black? In some areas, it's 3, 5, 7%. Others, it's 13% nationwide. I think the nationwide black, I'm not talking about Hawaiians or Polynesians or people like Kamala Harris, who's not black. I'm talking about real African American heritage black people. So why are we talking so much about voter suppression?
What? We're talking about black people, blacks. So we're not talking about those Polynesians or those Hawaiians. I don't think anyone's ever confused Polynesians or Hawaiians for black people, but okay, sure. We're talking about black people. That guy, as I mentioned off the top there, his name is Randy Bishop. He's running for the Michigan State Senate as a Democrat. This is really crazy. But first of all, a little bit of information on why he's now a Democrat or what he actually is. He previously ran for office as a Republican. He's a former chair of the Antrim County Republican Party in Northern Michigan. And he's been active in spreading conspiracy theories and denying the 2020 election that Trump lost. So that'll always get you a good position in the Republican Party. But now he's running in the 37th district as a Democrat with those types of points. But those aren't his only points. He has other things to say about the LGBTQ community as well. Watch that.
See, one thing you gotta understand, folks. Do you know only 1.5%, maybe I'll give them the benefit of the doubt, 2% of this population is LGBTQXYZ? 1 to 2% of our population is confused about their sexuality. They don't know what's between their legs. They think they're a woman, but they have something else between their legs. They're confused individuals. 1 to 2%. Why is the media and why are we constantly being bombarded with stuff about the LGBTQXYZ community?
You say it over and over and over again. The LGBTQXYZ ABC community, it doesn't do anything. It actually doesn't make your point any better. It makes you sound more ignorant and clueless on the entire subject. But still, why do we care about a smaller percentage of the population? This is only America. Why do we care about Americans? Why do we care about the minority groups in this country at all? Sounds like he's hearkening back to the way we used to do things, which we've kind of always done things, we just hit it better. But we're just taking the cover off of all this. I want to let you in on this point, Rivana, because there's more after this. But the first thought on that, because he also says they're confused about their sexuality, and that's what's between their legs.
I mean, just so ignorant and so wrong on everything. I mean, 7% of the United States population self-identifies as LGBTQ. So he's wrong about it being 1%. But I mean, even if it was just 1%, it matters because of the the oppression that 1%. I mean, we know it's 7, but even if it was 1, the oppression that percent of the population experiences matters. It's horrible for them. It's systemic as well, and those sorts of issues matter regardless of how big that group is relative to the population. And I mean, he's also saying, at the beginning that black people only make up, 13% of the country, however many percent of the district he's running in, to try to, pretend that issues that black Americans experience aren't real or that we shouldn't care about them because it's not most of the country. So I mean, we're moving towards a world where the number of white people will be less than the number of non-white people, and I just wonder if he's going to bring that same energy then. That white issues don't matter once they're a minority in this world.
No, but that's the thought process. The worry is it's actually a confirmation of how systemic oppression happens in the country. They're like, we've been in control this whole time. We don't want to talk about how oppression works and how our systems have actually helped implement and carry that out. So if we end up in the minority somehow, that's one of the big fears of these white nationalists is if we're in the minority, we're gonna get treated the way we treated minorities. And that's just the way things go because human nature is to absolutely oppress anyone that's not in power or isn't the majority demographic in the country. That's the thought process. So they have to avoid having something done to them that they've always done to other folks. Now, it makes you wonder, why are you so concerned about black people's rights and LGBTQ rights? It's because he's worried about that nuclear white family, the last stage of this white nationalist talking point. More?
you will not believe what this country looks like 20, 30, 40 years from now if we continue down this path with public indoctrination of our kids on their socialist communist agenda. What is it? Destroy the nuclear family. Destroy it. Take away your morality. Take away your values. Take away your religion. And brainwash you when you sit and watch TV. Now every single commercial has a biracial mom and dad. Can't even watch a college basketball tournament without commercials telling me I have to feel guilty because I think a family should be a white mom, a white dad, and white kids. They want us to die and go away. And they're gonna try to do it through politics this year.
The projection is quite real. They want us to die and go away as they preach the exact opposite for everyone else because they're worried about their power being taken just by other people being represented. Any last thoughts on this, Ray, before we jump to this last story? On that nuclear white family?
I mean, just shockingly racist. Just shockingly racist that he would say that out loud and not explode. Like, how do you hold that belief? Like, how do you live your life saying things like that? And like, oh my God, I just wasn't expecting. I hadn't listened to that clip before we did this segment. I just wasn't expecting him to be so racist.
The only qualification left as a Republican is to be as racist and violent and hateful and exclusionary as possible. That's the Republican Party. And he knows it. He's saying it, not me. He's saying it. He thinks this is gonna work. So have at it, bro.